Hi everyone, welcome back to Skilldojo's webinar series, and today we have how to build a product using JavaScript. Okay, so this is a topic which is very famous, and there are so many questions about the same, that when we start building something in JavaScript, how to really do it, how to really start with the complete scratch, and how to think of the final product, how to overlay the strategic details to the product, how to make sure that the architecture is right, make sure we deploy it on a better server, make sure it doesn't cost us too much. So we have to take many things in consideration. And this question has been there in for so long, and people think that if we start building something, we would be able to understand how technology works. Yes, this is the right way to do it, but the problem what students feel in the end is the consistency in the end. For example, if you start doing something today, you have to complete that product in some time, or you have to complete that product in a designated time you have given uh, to that amount of coding hours you have put in. So today we have a very famous person from Twitter itself. He is the creator of Sketch Notes. So I'll not delay your time, and I will add Proful to the same stream. Good afternoon, Proful. How are you today, and how are things in Australia? How?
Yeah, hi Prakash. Thanks for inviting me to this meetup and call. I'm doing pretty well. Today Sunday, bit relaxing.
So thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much for telling our viewers on the very precise topic of how to build a product using JavaScript, because this has been a great question from the start, and all of us have been wondering that what should be the right approach. So I guess if it over to you on this, because you're the chief over here, and we have seen sketch notes, and we I personally love the product and what you have made, and it's something very great, and I have seen its usage all over Twitter, all over blogs, all over things I could find, to dev.to daily.dev. So I have found it everywhere. I have found it
I,
everywhere.
I didn't knew that.
Yeah, so that is a really interesting thing. So if you could just shed some light upon that, how you have done that and how you have started. So over to you. And if you're sharing your screen, I am removing myself from the stream. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I think I'm getting difficulty in setting up my camera.
Okay.
Hope is it okay or
Yeah,
just
it's
little
it's
bit?
it's actually good. If I'll remove myself, we'll have a complete.
Yeah, let me because I'm using multiple monitor and I'm not seeing any participant. Like, how can I see them?
Proful, we will have people in the chat room, and Saksham will just say hi to them. So Saksham, just Sundal a hi to every viewer out there who are watching us, and tell them to respond to us. I guess it's not. I'll just get on with Saksham, and we'll just say hi to our viewers right now. If you are watching this, if you can just say hi in the chat section, that would be great.
Okay, that's fine. So I think Prakash, we can get started, right?
Yes, you can.
So my voice is audible and everything good, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, hello everyone. Today I will discuss about two small my side project. I'm working. One is Sketchnotes, one is Twindle. I'll just give a small intro about what those products are about and how they're born, and I can go into a little bit technical, high-level detail and how I approach to building it. I'm Proful. I'm basically from India, but currently I'm working in Sydney. I have around 15 years of experience, so I do different roles. But I'm much more interested into my side project. Here, I don't have any bigger ambition or goal in terms of growing. I'm just doing it organical growth, and I build product what I love to use myself. So these two product, I'll talk about how this idea born, and I'll give some detail about how I'm approaching and what is my thought process about. So if you guys are not familiar with the sketch notes, this is how sketch notes looks like. It is a very not very new concept. It is very old concept, but most people use pen and paper, and I'm one of them. If you see my Twitter profile, I a little bit have inclination towards drawing. So visual learning, whenever we study, right, any topic, maybe from YouTube videos or anywhere, we few people tend to take notes, and I'm one of them. And if I use a combination of icons, arrows, and some kind of textual information, so which will look note taking experience much more better or cleaner. So I realized, but there are certain limitations I found, because if you pen and paper, it is difficult to organize. And my pen, all notes what I written for 2 3 years back, it is difficult to find out. So if pen and paper, they're getting lost. I don't want to lose my notes. So for that, I started creating some small web application where I can able to do this pictorial representation. I'm not there yet. I have lots of. It is slowly I'm progressing in development. I'm doing as when I'm getting time and interest. So this is my basic idea. So currently, this is one of the notes I have taken. This is how the product will look like at this stage. And apart from me, other people are also started using it. For example, if you see this, we have color syntax highlighting about programming language. We can copy paste any programming language. So, for example, Java, JavaScript, Python, or Kotlin, or a couple of languages we supported at this moment. And we can have some arrows and different font style, different color representation. So this kind of notes we can create. So I strongly believe that it will give me much more opportunity to take notes and able to refer it whenever I wanted. And I started sharing in my Twitter profile so that people also can get benefited out of these notes. So this is one example. And there are some feature, if you see hover the mouse, right, there are some yellow outline is appearing. For example, if you click here, double click here, so few of the option it will appear. So we can select this to have the border. We can have dotted border, or we can just copy it or delete it, or we can change this color. So these are the feature I already built, and I'm still, this is very basic prototype. Few people started using it, but it is not yet production ready, and I'm not in rush to launch it into public. When it is ready, then it will be launched into the public. So this is one thing. And if we can increase the font size, we can decrease the font size, or we can change this color. So there are some certain capabilities. It is already built inside this product. They should take this note taking experience much more easier. And also, if there is some small icon chooser, if you type A, there are several kind of arrows. Like we have so many icons. For example, if you click it, so one icon box will come. You can just drag and drop it and place it somewhere around. So if you double click it, so we can expand this icon jar. So it will give. I'm just trying to mimic that Sketchnotes experience, but it is not there yet. But I'm trying to get some quicker way to create the nodes. So we can change the color, or we have some different capabilities. This is one of the approach we can take. We can create different boxes. To create box is very straightforward, simple. We can just double click anywhere. So one box will appear. So we can start writing our text. And we can definitely change this font, and we can decrease or increase size, or we can get rid of this border. We can delete that box. So we can play around with it. Okay, if we don't need this box, we can delete it. And also we can have some ability to import some images, and we can just place it wherever we like. So this kind of nodes we can create. And also this is kind of I'm working on this currently. This is like infinite canvas. In one page you can get scroll left, right, and you can organize your nodes in one page, so that you don't need to be scattered across the board. There are a couple of keyboard shortcuts. We can zoom in, zoom out. So to see this notes much more clearly, and we can, it is helpful for the presentation mode. This may be useful for not only taking the notes, but for teaching purpose also, because I like to take notes at the same time I want to share the information and want to teach it to the outer public. So this is about the basic prototype about the sketch notes. So about the technical stack over here in the sketch notes, it is two part. One is once I have the idea, right, I started write coding, and the front end part is mostly created in the React.js, heavily uses of React.js and Vanilla.js wherever appropriate. So it is completely React product, and there are different libraries or some kind of additional modules I've used, but it is mostly UI driven project. And the backend is because I'm also a little bit comfortable with Java. Few places I use Node.js, and for this particular case, there is no specific reason, but I've used Java-based backend. And also, once this sketchnotes is developed using this React.js framework, I am deploying into the AWS S3. So that is where the deployment is happening. So, Prakash, you want to ask any question here at this point?
Am I audible, Proful?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah. So, what was the general idea behind when you were creating sketch notes, and you said that you didn't want to take it to more level of you don't want to make it commercial, or what was the idea behind it? You said that notes were not taken so easily, and what was the motivation behind when, if you have a job, if you have a daytime job, and you want to work on something parallel to that? So how do you keep yourself motivated in a way that you move on to a peripheral thing and you create it to a level that now it is being called a product?
Yeah, I don't say it is called a product. At this stage, I'm still tinkering with it, breaking it all the time. But I am taking it in a different route. For example, I just created for myself, to be
Hmm.
honest, because I usually take notes whichever I study. So I spend lots of time in pen and paper notes, and I try to make this kind of images.
Okay.
So, but I feel like a little bit of difficulty in terms of finding the notes, because now my notes are organized. Whenever I can see some demo, I can just have it is easy to share, right? I can share
Hmm.
into Twitter, or I can just improve on top of it. See, for example, I added some additional information. It is very flexibility. It is adding it, and it is
Hmm.
mostly programmer driven, because I need the code snippet as well. Because if you write a pen and paper notes, it is very difficult to write this code snippet here.
Exactly.
but you
Exactly.
have to write in pen and paper. That is not very flexible. And also, I need this kind of notes where I can do some kind of image visually presentation so that I can understand much better.
Hmm. So, Proful, when you're like when you were creating this, so what were the major obstacles you had while creating this? Like you felt, okay, this is an obstacle, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, this is a completely a different domain for me. I'm mostly a backend developer myself. I from Java background, and I'm currently working with AWS as a professional AWS. So I treat myself as a backend developer, but I have front end experience, but very minimal. But whenever I started this product, right, it is a little bit complex for me slowly in terms of technically ability, because it is lots of technical complexities slowly I address, because this is an infinite compass, and I have to align it and drag it. So it is lots of front end issue happen, but I tackle it. I learn it whenever I want. Initially, slow pieces I started. First thing, whenever I created a small box here, then I realized that I have to drag it, how effectively I can drag it. Then I
Okay.
realized that I need to add some border, I need to add some dash border which look good, some kind of color palette. So it is organically, slowly I got some ideas and keep on implementing it. I have not finalized everything, the requirement at one goal that I need to XYZ feature, but slowly, incrementally, I updated this feature by feature.
So, for example, you were saying that you just implemented things by yourself and you were exploring things by yourself. So, what could you suggest to a student out there who are starting with their projects and who create projects for their colleges, who create projects for uh, specifically for their CVs, and what kind of projects do you think could be helpful for them to go in a way so they can explore JavaScript in a better way or they can explore other things in a better way?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Earlier in my life, right, I have created a couple of startup. At that time, I was much more going into the buzzwords, like I'll create a startup and all these things. So I'm trying to solve other people problem. I'm trying to create the next Flipkart or next Facebook. So whichever shiny object thing is coming, right, even though I didn't face the problem myself, I'm trying to build it. So
Hmm.
I did some progress, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, but it is very difficult to keep that motivation alive because you are not the user. You got it.
Hmm. Exactly.
So,
Yes.
even the first product, right? Just take it lightly and try to solve whatever you are passionate about. Because I'm a little bit more into the note taking ability, because I really do that. I
Hmm.
I I left my studies long back, but still, whichever concept I read, right, my hand will go to pen and paper. Otherwise, I
Hmm.
can't feel like reading it, even though it is technical notes. Even though I'll do coding, but to understand the concept,
Hmm.
I'll always go to the pen and paper.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
this is my interest area. So then I thought to improve it on the basis of it. You know. This is one
Hmm.
idea. And other idea I can talk about, like Twindle, how it born and how we are standing. But I would suggest, like, anybody want to create a product, don't worry too much like how client will feel and how other people will react to it. Create the product what you like, so that it will be slowly, you'll put your best effort and the output you'll love it. Then it will give the intrinsic motivation to use it and keep on using. So I don't care much about who is using my product and who is not. If somebody is asking me, I am giving the link. But I'm more focusing on my. I have lots of features at myself, so I am keep
Hmm.
on building based upon my own schedule. I don't give too much. Uh, because I don't have too much time and commitment to give to this product long time, right? Because I
Hmm.
build on my own priority. Whichever priority I like, I do that.
Okay. Okay. So I guess the answer is pretty clear that the problems we are facing today, and we should move on to those problems, and we should create something. Because in India, the very cliche things are library management system. Everybody has that on their CVs. I don't know why, and for past 15 years, everybody is copying the same SQL code and they are making the same DBMS, and they're happy with that. And they are not thinking and exploring. And I felt that people not doing open source in India has created a bit of a problem, because there is a lot of herd mentality, what we call in colleges in India, that like you said, you explored yourself that you had a problem. But students in India are not doing that. They are not actually exploring themselves, and they're not going to an extent to engineer themselves a solution. So what is how do you feel, is that from experience that you thought that I should come up to engineering my own solution, or was that something which was in you from a very long time? You used to engineer solutions for yourself from a very young age, or is it something which came from experience, that I should create something specifically I can for myself through my technologies I know and I can learn?
Yeah, this I would say it is from my experience. When I was younger, right, I was more interested to make billion-dollar startup. So I was always thinking that I'll build my next Facebook, I'll build my hometown. So always a big ideas like growth potential, and I was thinking in a pipe dream. But it doesn't work out that manner. The more important thing that, right, there are lots of factor which is making one startup success. And also in this case note side, one more thing I did differently. One thing, I created the product based upon my need. That is what I'm currently doing. I'm not putting lots of effort. This product I built around 2 months only. So I've not contributed significantly on that. So I reached to a MVP stage. Then I realized the importance of marketing, to promote your product into the outside world. That is very important aspect as well. So I,
Hmm.
I I was very shy person, but at the same time I realized the value of Twitter. Then in the
Hmm.
month of May, June, I started writing my progress into the Twitter. All this thing is started from a tweet. I was documenting like how I dragging, dropping, and how I progressing. My if you somebody did some research, they can see my transition from one stage to another. So I'm trying to document in the public. So what will happen? It allow me to reach out to a new user. Few people by means of sharing these notes, people have
Hmm.
started getting excited. They ask me how they created and they started using it. So I'm not fixing their issue because I'm not getting time, but definitely the feedback is definitely helpful. And more than that, it is giving me motivation so that other people are also started using it. So
Hmm.
that is feeling me happy actually, because feature means I have tons of feature. I don't have time to implement all the feature because I'm not want to too much stress myself into coding all the time, because I'm doing day job and family and all the commitment.
Exactly, exactly.
But people whoever they appreciate, right, it is giving me motivation to keep this product live, and I am
Hmm.
still working on this. Whenever I get chance and whenever getting time.
Yeah,
So
I remember I follow you from around, there were 1,000 followers when you had, and I was a fan of product from the start, because I really, so I was more into art myself. So I really like the idea of, because I felt that so what I used to do, I used to have different pens for different types of code. For example, if it's a variable, I'll write it down with a sketch pen. I still have those sketch pens with me. So when I was learning, so the when I saw your product, I was like, okay, I was thinking something like this, and this person has just created this into a product which can be easily used, and it's actually very awesome. When I saw it, it's truly is. So Proful, if you could just tell us about Twindle more, and you can just shed a light on Twindle itself, and your I guess it's an open source program too, if I'm not wrong.
yeah. So yeah, let me start with the Twindle. This starts with a simple tweet. This is the tweet I sent in the October 12, 1 month back. So the main idea, I was reading the Twitter thread, and I want to convert to PDF and send it to my Kindle. Because one day I was reading, because Twitter has, let's say, its pros and cons, because all the time if you see it, lots of notifications keep on coming. So I just disable all the notifications, still some notification is keep on coming. So my attention is not going into reading the thread, rather it is going to the notification and responding some message and all this, distraction.
Exactly.
So, for example, this is known as thread. If somebody don't know about this, is like somebody posted a thread. So, which is some good information. So I realize that if we can, but because I have time commitment, because I'm busy with the sketch notes, so I don't have any time available for writing a code here. So I decided to mentor beginner for this side project. So I just mentioned it will be open source. This is the technical stack, and I can guide it. So around 500 people approach me by means of DM, email, and all this thing. So we build a community. Now lots of around 20, 30, 20 plus people are active, very active. So within 1 month, right? We already have that working prototype. Let me show you the working prototype about it. So if you go to the you copy this thread ID, and this is the Twindle project. This is CLI base node dot. So if you hit enter, we have to just pass this, thread ID, and it will go to the Twitter. Twitter, we have integrated Twitter API, so it will create this PDF. So if you see that. So one PDF format is coming up. So there is no distraction. The data is very clean and it's readable. And also, if you give like -s option, so it will again do the same thing. It will go to the Twitter, paste the thread ID, transform it to the PDF, and it will send to the Kindle. So it is sending to the Kindle. Okay. So I have my Kindle over here. Let's see this PDF. I can get it here or not. Is it visible? Let me. This PDF is already arrived. It is not visible here, but I'll just open this thing. See this same thread is coming here.
Wow. Okay, that is, yeah, we see that.
So I can spend time on some thread and read it on my free time. So I just had this idea, and we build up a open source team. So anybody who is interested, it is very good platform that to learn the first year. This is beginner friendly. The main idea is to encourage, because I strongly believe many people are interested to contribute to open source, even though beginner, intermediate, or experience, but they don't know how to start it.
Exactly.
Because GitHub is like ocean. If you go to any product, first of all, think which product you will contribute and how you will contribute. Because to learn about their complexity product, it is very tough. It is extremely difficult. So we come up with the standard process. This is our Twindle site. So we have around 143 fork and like more than 100 contributors. We are using like Svelte for front end. Svelte is like one front end framework, but mostly JavaScript, HTML, CSS code. And we have around 1,500 commits in a 1 month. And we have around 200 issue, and I'll show you the pull request. We have around 600 PR pull request is raised. So it will give an opportunity to work as a team. This open source contribution is really valuable because for beginner, right, they'll get an opportunity to interact with the senior people like me, or there are lots of mentor. We have different skill set people, so you know how the product is evolving from one stage, from the simple idea. So I come up with some design document, like using the sketch notes. This is the phase one we are building like one Twindle CLI. If you install npm install Twindle, and you can able to generate PDF, EPUB, MOBI, and MD format. and this will integrate with the Twitter, call this information, and call to this renderer part, PDF and EPUB. It will generate and send it across. The phase 2, we are planning to host it into our website. So anybody go to our website and they can give the URL and we can access it. So we are planning to introduce into AWS serverless technology, Lambda, and we are keep on discussing regularly. And if somebody is coming to new, right, once we join the Twindle, so you can connect us with the Twitter, YouTube channel, and Discord. So you can ask question. We are having a daily we are having Monday to Friday daily call where we have a kind of discussion about what is the progress we are making, how people can contribute, any issue is there or not, or there are step-by-step instruction how you can create a fast PR. We have like image-wise instruction starting from how you can create fork. You don't need to know Git or GitHub. We are giving a hand to a step-by-step training how you can create your fast PR, and we have the video YouTube channel and several videos here. So it is a step-by-step direction how you can create second PR and third PR, how you experience that merge conflicts, and then we can give instruction to how you can start coding into HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. So we are trying to encourage, and we are creating a platform not only to build the product. We have lots of roadmap here in terms of issues. So if you see issues, for example, if you see one issue, what do we discuss? So we create the instruction and we create some video. So it will explain the step by step what is the agenda of that topic and what is objective of it. And somebody will give it a try and we discuss it. We give some code snippet for the beginner, and they can start working on the prototype. So this is very much inclusive society, and this is completely free. There is no catch here. There is no intention to make any money out of this platform. This is just to help
that is
people
amazing. Yeah.
learn and
This is truly amazing what you actually showed us, because this is something which is actually working and creating an impact in open source. There are companies who have been trying to do this for years, and from you just got started from a tweet and you have created a community of 500 people. So this is absolutely, this is very good, and I'm very glad to see this. And I think me myself, I would, if I get time, I would want to contribute to Twindle and become a part of this, because
most welcome program, because anybody, this is completely helping beginners. If you see that all the integration is an open source project for beginners. Lots of people always telling me that they did the fast PR in our 143, more than 100 people did the fast PR in the Twindle. So it is a platform we are providing in terms of guiding the beginners, so that once they understand the process, they can contribute wherever they like. But the fast is always difficult, and we are ensuring that we help them to achieve that.
Exactly. So I guess I'll ask my viewers once that today Proful is here, and you can just ask him any question and you can be very candid about it. Just ask him anything, because Proful has been like, he has shown you the complete product and he has given you a go through of how he has built things. So I would request you, so if you can use the chat channel and you can ask if there are very specific questions you want to ask about sketch notes, or if you want to ask how to get into Twindle, or if you want to ask about how to get started with your own open source project, or how to, okay. So there is, we have Vikas who says that he wants to contribute. So I guess Proful, Proful would be the one to answer this.
Yeah, because like here we have like Twindle.co website. So there is step-by-step instruction is available. Once you go to the website, you click this join Twindle what next, and you follow us on the Twitter. There is a YouTube channel, videos are available, and we have a Discord channel. So that once you do that, you can start contributing. Slowly you will participate, you raise the PR, and we will know that, and you will be part of the team. Everything is open, and you can see lots of videos in here, like you can meet the team, and we have like meeting link also provided. Daily we are having 5 a.m. call. Now we are earlier we are having Google Meet call, but now we are planning to have the Discord channel. in the Discord community, we can have the 5 p.m. call. 1 or 2 times you come and attend, so that you can get to know that other team what they're doing.
Proful, we have one more question. That which technologies are used in Twindle?
Yeah, as I told, Twindle is very open source project for beginners. So I am a bit careful in terms of choosing the technical stack where beginner can be feel comfortable to start contributing. For that, I have to make some decision. Just to start with, right? We have like Twindle web project. Like, let me open it. This is a live thing. I'm not sure how it will look like, but I'm not afraid to show it. Hopefully it won't break. Yeah, so this is like one website, our website. We have like header, footer, and testimonial other section. So if you are only comfortable with HTML, CSS, you can contribute into the Twindle web. So you can help us to build the website. And if you are having the JavaScript knowledge, even though you don't having any Node.js experience, you can come and join in the Twindle CLI project. In the phase 1, we are building Twindle CLI. There will step-by-step guide, So if you know basic JavaScript technology and it is based upon Node.js, so you feel free to come and we'll help you to give you the task based upon your skill set. You can go to the complex or you can go to the, low level, but it is JavaScript vanilla skill is needed. And we are using the Twitter API call and we are having some technology. There are some code walkthrough is available in the YouTube video and we can also guide them. And also there are one more product we started, like because there are so many threads available, right? Because YouTube, this is one thread I already opened, that's why I saw it. But Twitter is not a good platform to discover the Twitter thread which are popular. Because once you go to Twitter, there is no way it says that popular thread, go and read it. So we are building a platform where the discovery of that thread will be possible. So for that, we are building a Twitter thread project. This is a little bit more interactive is needed. So it is building in the Svelte, because there are lots of framework available, front-end framework. For example, React.js, Angular, Vue.js, and Svelte. But Svelte is very beginner friendly. So we debated and we agreed to. This is a kind of democracy in the open source world. I don't dictate most of the time. So this is the Svelte one, very simple framework. So if you know the JavaScript, right, we have created a video also. This is a lots of channels, the Svelte overview and discussion, 1 hour discussion, and what is the second is about, what is the thread bookmarking about. So you guys can watch our Twindle channel, already 100 subscriber. So you'll get some idea about, what are each product is about, what is the technical stack is about. So basic thing is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I hope that answers the question.
I guess, Samrin, your question was took care of. And any more questions you want to ask, guys? Because see, this is a very different course we have taken from our general webinar series. Because we used to cover topics which are truly technical, and we really wanted to have an idea that how you can start with open source and you can start with things. So does anyone out there guys, you can ask the questions right away. Okay, Proful, I guess people are either okay. I guess they will take some time in asking some questions. So you just do you want to give any conclusion to the complete talk. Like, what do you want to say in the conclusion of all this, of open source, of starting projects on your own, of doing things on your own, and uh, is this a good way, or is this a good approach to get into? Like, there are ways to. Arnav just said hello. Yeah, hi Arnav. If there is a question, you can ask. So, if there is this the right way? Is this the peripheral way to get into companies by creating our own projects, or is it more? Is it plausible? And I feel this is a good way to show your skill to the recruiters itself. What do you feel about it, Proful?
I would say more than side project, involving into a open source project is very good, because in the if you are very beginner in the side project, you will only play around with making this beautiful color combination, other thing. So you'll miss out a lot of fun. So in the open source community, right, you'll get an opportunity to interact with the team. So various people with different skill set, and you can able to understand their thought process. So by participating with this kind of project like Twindle, we should give an opportunity to read other people code and understand how they're implementing, and it will give opportunity to showcase your ability. So open source
Yes, exactly.
contribution is much more uh, for getting a job, because if you give a remote, right, because now the remote culture is much predominant. So now, if you give a GitHub profile, that is more valuable, because this LinkedIn and all this thing, I don't personally believe, because these are all mostly marketing. Because anybody can write anything. I can write a CTO of one company and put something, but for the recruiter and for the company to screen it is very difficult. I have a 15-year experience. I taken lots of interviews, but by resume you can't do that thing what this is all about. So most people don't read the resume because it is tons of. But the code, right? If you have some contribution, there are lots of metrics. So if lots of people want to, if little bit technical. Earlier, people are a little bit more corporate oriented, but now it is changing because we have lots of startup company. A lot of it is a got an opportunity. Like from India, we can do work from US, and your Twitter is remote first company now. So the opportunity is going to opening up in a great deal. But you have to be more skilled, or you have to work in open source contribution, whichever the project you choose. But that will give a good indication.
I guess our viewers have understood how you emphasize on how we should focus upon open source, and how barriers and how things are getting down with the newer market and with the newer audience in today's world. So, I guess, so, guys, if you have any questions, still there is time. Proful is here with us. You can shoot your questions to us, and uh, it we would be glad to answer them. Proful would be glad to answer them. I guess I should conclude the talk, Proful. And it was really
Yeah.
great to have you on a platform and to tell about sketch notes and Twindle. It was truly awesome. I am your fan from past 5 6 months of the product you have created. So I myself, I have moved from having I used to think these people in who used to be VCs or who used to be in this segment, I used to make them as my heroes. But I felt after a few time spending my time in the industry, I felt that the engineers who are doing things and engineers who are getting the product out there, getting people to do it, are the real ones out there. So thank you so much for actually guiding me, because I was not really interested into code a few days back, but I am trying to create things myself. I saw what you have done, and I started myself doing a few on a little. I don't know. It's a little initiation from my end, and today, after you speaking and after you telling that, can I? So there is one more question. Can I show experience on resume by contributing on OSS? Do you want to answer that, Prabhu?
Yeah, OSS project, it is a bit gray area, because if people are asking for, there are two-way view to it. Which company is asking you the question? If you company like TCS or Wipro, at this moment they may not recognize casual open source project. If you are contributing to a bigger open source project which is recognized, then they may value that experience. And because most of the company, because you can say fake, because difficult to, because their main fear is not that whether you, how to validate that you really work in open source project or not. That is a challenge. So because if you work in a proper company, then you can give pay slip, reference, and some kind of HR process. But open source project is validation it is a bit difficult. But at the same time, right, they can't invalidate that open source contribution. So you can give an opportunity if you are contributing since 1 year actively. So you can say it's your GitHub profile. But if you are genuinely contributing and actively participating, right, you have a good chance saying that I have a 1 year experience and I learned these things. So the chances is getting more increased. But at this stage, right, I have not seen many example like only small open source project can be treated as the experience. If I answer correctly, it is opinion, so you can take it as a grain of salt.
Any more questions from your end, guys? Anything you want Proful to ponder upon? I guess so I think I have asked multiple times, and if there is a question, you can I guess you can they can reach out to you on Twitter itself, right?
Yes, feel free to approach me on Twitter
And
or join the Twindle group, so that lots of people are already available. They can mentor and they can give advice. There are lots of experienced people also hanging around there, so they can definitely help you to learn about any technology and participate in Twindle project.
so thank you so much, Proful, for coming in, for giving your precious time to us. And
No, no, no.
thank you so much for telling us about sketch notes. Thank you so much for telling us about Twindle. And we really love the work you have been doing, and we really love the I really admire your work right now you have been doing with Twindle itself. So, and thank you so much, viewers, for coming in. I hope this was a great learning session for you and you learned a lot from this. So this would be it.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye, bye, Proful. Have a good day, you too.